Welcome back to Off Meta Hearthstone. So today we're going to be playing a Priest deck that I call Troggs spells. You may have seen variants of Spell Priest before, but this one uses a ton of new cards, and in particular I'm playing a lot of cards that you probably haven't seen played against you on the ladder before. I'll start with Kobold Taskmaster because this is one of my key innovations here. It's just a 3-mana 2/4, adds 2 armor scraps to your hand. But the important thing here is that it adds 2 cheap spells to your hand. So the essence of this deck is that it's basically built around palm reading. You discover a spell, reduce the cost of everything in your hand. And then Nazmani Bloodweaver. And then to go along with that, we are playing Stormpike Quartermaster. Spam a lot of spells, buff the things in your hand. And Nazmani can make your whole hand cost 0 or 1. Power Word Fortitude is helped out by having the additional spells in hand from Kobold Taskmaster. And then really what the point of this deck is built around Irondeep Trogg. So, Spell Priest is a deck that's been around. It's never been like super top tier, but you can get wins with it. But we chose something very specific to build around in this deck. We have all of the nice, interactions, like Psyche Split is great at copying big minions and, just some powerful stuff going on. But specifically the interaction with Stormpike Quartermaster and then throwing a ton of buffs onto Irondeep Trogg and then potentially casting like a Psyche Split or a Gift of Luminance on it and just putting out a board that your opponent cannot deal with in a single spell or whatever rush minions or weapons they have. Against certain classes, that's game over. So this deck has a high raw power level. It can win against anyone. It can put out crazy boards around like turn 4 or 5. But against certain classes, you just really focus on the Trogg and you just put it out there and you say, hey, game over. You can't deal with this. If you try to deal with it, I'll just have an army full of 6-7 minions or whatever. So this deck is super fun to play. So if you want more insight into the specific card choices, you can click on the article that's linked in the description below. But for now, let's get into some games. So there's quite a few new cards in this deck from Fractured and Alterac Valley. I believe I counted 6 of them. We're really playing a lot of new cards for it's cool when an older strategy, like basically decks built around Nazmani, Bloodweaver, and Palm Reading have been around, but we've added quite a lot to it. I also neglected to talk about Spirit Guide. It's another new card that's pretty cool. Okay, so getting into the gameplay. So we have an Irondeep Trogg, which is good, but Druid is a little bit weird because they could be any variety of aggro or going big decks. I'm considering just going with it and hoping it works out. But then again, it could be better to just wait for the longer game. So in this case, I'm just going to mulligan like this. Really, the whole point of Trogg is to buff it in our hand with Stormpike or wait until we can copy it bigger with some kind of effect like Psyche Split. But it's possible I should have just played it early. If it didn't work out, we could have just used Raised Dead later. So, we'll see. I tend to hold on to Renew for a little while. We often want to use our cheap spells as combo pieces with Nazmani or Stormpike Quartermaster to... Oh, it's Rogue. Okay, well, I mean, the Trogg wouldn't have done much against them. So we didn't really hit what we wanted here. But I'm just going to grab this Insight, I think, because now we can just kind of curve. We can play our 2/5, let them spend some resources killing it, turn on our Corrupt, and then we can get the Nazmani back later with Raised It anyway. Okay, so they don't really have to spend many resources killing this anymore. But I think this is a good turn to just use Shadow or Devour, because then we'll have a 2/7. So it just trades with their board a little bit better. And then we also get we get potentially 3 cost reduction off of this. Okay, we're still going, I guess. I'm gonna use this while I can. I'm not sure I love these cards. Kind of weak. Okay, I think I'm just going to trade this. Okay, so, you know, that was an interesting turn. If they don't trade with us, if they don't kill our minion for some reason, like Psyche Split will be awesome. But I'm pretty sure they'll just kill it. Rogue is a frustrating matchup for a lot of the decks I like to play because they have the new hero that bounces everything. So a lot of the sort of synergistic decks that I like to build are devoted to just kind of pumping out a big board in one turn, and then they cannot do it sometimes. But that's not to say it's a horrible matchup all the time. It's just it can be frustrating once in a while. We'll see how this game plays out. We are a bit light on board control with this current build. It was sort of targeted. I was facing a lot of warlocks before, so it's slightly geared more towards that. Uh-oh. What was that? Oh, I didn't have a minion to get transformed. Okay. So we're just going to draw some minions this turn, I think. Quartermaster is interesting. We need to... we'll probably try to go off next turn with some stuff. Okay. That's all good. So we're really looking for like a key turn here, right? We're kind of just like spinning our wheels, trying not to be at a low life total in the mid game, and then at some point around turn 5 or 6 or 7, who knows, we're just going to try to explode onto the board. I could potentially just play Kobold Taskmaster and Psyche Split, or Stormpike Quartermaster Psyche Split. I want to get one more minion dead so that I can play... Okay, so drawing another Psyche Split makes me less hesitant to play the one that we already have. This would be a 3/6, which trades fine. But if we... Let's see. I think I do just want to play Stormpike Quartermaster. And then play this spell first, get a buff. Okay, that'll be good for the future. But I'm just going to do this real quick. So I could cast Raise Dead right now. I think I actually will do that because I get the 2 buffs. I sort of chose a strange order here, but I think it's fine. The other reason I actually ended up doing that is because if 2 Quartermasters die, I would not have a guaranteed getting back the Nismani, and this is more important. So I just wanted to... The fact that I would get 2 buffs and guarantee a Nismani in hand made me do that. Wow, Siphon Mana seems like a strong spell to get for this. Wow, it came down early. Reconnaissance is a pretty strong card. I'm planning to showcase a deck built around that in the near future. Okay, so what's our play here? I definitely want to play Kobold Taskmaster this turn. Frenzy gain 8 armor. That's fine. We don't really care. So let's see. So I'm gonna play that. I'm just gonna get it out of the way. And then so that costs 2. I want to set up a turn where I play Power Word Fortitude and yeah, I might just play Palm Reading right now. But I'm trying to decide if I want to play Raise Dead. It'll potentially give us a Nazmani and a Quartermaster probably. I could also potentially just play the Psyche this turn. That would be creating 2 6/9s. It's not the best thing ever, but I think I'd rather save it. So let's just see what we discover here. So these are all fine options. I kind of like Bless right now, based on the context of the board. So we're just going to save everything till next turn. This is kind of a tricky deck to play, but I'm going with a little bit of patience here. And again, they could always just have the thing that bounces everything. Wow, they're playing Keyword and Ivory. That's a card that's in my build of like the sort of deck that they're playing that I haven't seen anyone else play. So, but this guy's got it going on. You can check back in maybe 24 hours from this video to see our take on the deck our opponent is currently playing. It might be a meta deck at some point, but since it's so early in the format, I'm just building what I like. And if it's not the top tier win rate decks, then I consider it off meta for now. Okay, so we are going to copy this. Okay, so I want to buff this as much as I can first. Okay, cool. I guess I can... Well... Oof. Okay. What's the order to do this? Maybe this first? Because I realized I was running out of cards that actually did anything. I should have healed my minion, but that's fine. This is okay. Okay. I'm gonna save the Discover until next turn, so that we can actually trigger the Death Rattle, whatever that may be. But, you know, we put out two 18-19s, so hopefully they don't have just like a hard, you know, destroy minion or bounce everything. But, you know, let's say they do deal with this board somehow, in a permanent way. We have plenty of card draw in our deck to get out of this, so... You know, Spirit Guide would be a great draw. All of the Discover spells can always find us more gas, so we'll see. It looks like they are throwing a Hail Mary, which is great for us. They could have easily found their hero and we'll be sad. Okay. They stole a Gift of Luminance. That's actually kind of good. Well, no, this only gives a 2/5 weapon. It's not really good multiples. They're digging again! They have a high probability of finding their hero, it seems like. There's not that many cards in their deck. I'd say it's at least 40% at this point. Oh, okay. They went below 7 mana. That's good. They're frantically digging. It's looking hopeful. I mean, it's entirely possible they're not running the hero, but they should be, you know. So, yeah, I was all nervous about them easily dealing with our board, but it turns out we win. So, I was a negative Nancy for no reason. Do we actually kill them right now? I didn't really... Oh, I think they timed out. They didn't even kill our minion. We would have had... That would be 36. They were at 35. So yeah, it was lethal. It didn't matter. If they traded, it didn't matter. Alright. Jumping in for another game. Spirit Guide is one of my favorite cards in this deck. 5 mana, 5/5 taunt. Draw 2 relevant spells. Pretty cool. Okay, Warlock is always a fun matchup. And by that I mean sometimes it is, sometimes it sucks. I've definitely put out boards with like 40 health minions. Well, I mean like 2 20 health minions, and then they just kill it with damage because of the demon that doubles damage. But more often than not, if we go off successfully, it will lead to a win. And this is one of the matchups where a buffed Trogg is actually quite relevant, so we're going to be hoping for that. So in terms of sequencing this game, I think I'm going to go with... I'm just going to be patient and do turn 3 Kobold Taskmaster so that we can do turn 4 Spirit Guide. And then most likely turn 5 we'll be setting up with Insight and whatever else. And then turn 6 we'll most likely do some kind of combo off. But we'll see how it develops. Because basically we're not going to be under like pressure from Warlock, so we just want to do the Spirit Guide thing first so that we have maximum sort of resources available when we do finally decide to put out a board that we want to win the game with. So anytime you see them trade that card, it means they are Owl TK. So the good thing about that, palm reading is a great draw. We have sort of a sense of when they're going to be able to win. Like if they haven't like played their owl and killed it off yet, you have at least one more turn. The problem with that concept is that the deck we're playing needs, one turn to deploy and one turn to kill. So we kind of want to be ahead of that if we can. But if they don't have weapon early, it's also a lot easier. The weapon reduces the cost of everything. Oof, wow, that is a weak turn 4 on their part. So we're happy to see that. Let's see. So if I didn't count this right. If I coin out the 5-drop, and then they kill it, I will burn a card. But is casting palm reading a better turn 4? It will set up a pretty big turn next turn, I believe, actually. So I will just do it. So renew is good, and then we can cast insight. And okay, so actually what we're gonna do is next turn we're going to go Stormpike, and then buff the crap out of it, and then play Trogg. Or, I mean, buff the crap out of Trogg and then play it. The only problem I can see is... Okay, so we're going to have exactly 6 mana to do Stormpike, and then Psyche Split, and then end with Trogg. So I think this will be pretty good. We'll see. I need to make sure not to mess it up. And then half the buffs will go to Spirit Guide. Oh, I burned a Trogg. Okay, so what should I be casting first here? Sure. Alright, every buff that doesn't go to Trogg we're sad about, but that's fine. Now the question is, I guess since that already got 2 buffs, I can make this like a 1/6 and then like a... That seems fine. Let me just do 1 buff here. Hopefully it goes there. Okay. So now I'm going to go like this, and like this. So let's hope that this was good enough to keep out a board of Troggs. We'll see how it plays out. I could see them potentially dealing with this, but it seems like it'll probably be good. And if either Trogg has decent stats left over, then we can just cast Alec Mount next turn. Okay, so that was one of the best things they could do with their turn, but it's not going to be... Oh, they should have traded first. They messed up. I do think we're going to be able to win this game. They missed their trade. Okay, so we just cast Alec Mount, and yeah, I think we just start attacking. So this is kind of like the point of this deck, right? Like, Warlock is a very powerful deck, right? It's an OTK deck that a lot of, decks can't deal with. Oh, let's see what they have. Ah, they had the double demon. That's not good for us. Can they get there? Oh, I don't know. I think we might be... Oh, no, yeah, that was a powerful sequence. I hate this demon. Like, our board seemed overwhelming, right? But it didn't matter in the end. Okay, so, back to rebuilding. We can play this 10/10 Spirit Guide, I guess. Let's see what we discover with this trivia. I don't think I like any of this stuff, so I'll just redraw next turn. Now the question is, well, yeah, I'll just trade and cast this. It's more of a reload turn, I know a 10/10 looks impressive, but I fully expect they can kill it if they have this demon in play. But I'm a little salty that they managed to deal with that huge board of Troggs. If he didn't have double demons specifically. Alright, so this is an early owl kill, which means they could win at any moment, but they haven't done any cost reduction and there's still 14 cards in their deck. So we should have a couple more turns unless they're pretty lucky. That was a lucky hit for them as well to kill our big minion. But anyway. So, back to the drawing board. I could just start doing cost reduction stuff. I think I'm going to have to. Let's just see how this goes. Okay, so we got... that was like the worst one possible. But I can start buffing it, I guess. This is not a super impressive turn, but I think it's what we've got to do. Okay, so I want to cast more spells. Let's see what this does. Okay, we got a Trogg, which is nice. I think I will discover a spell. Okay, so we're going to get palm reading and hope that it gets cost reduction. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to cast this now. Elec Mount will be good later. And then I'm going to cast one more of these to just get cost reduction. Okay, and then I'll cast this to get cost reduction. And if the Trogg is... no. Okay. So I did pretty much everything I wanted to do that turn, except for I was considering playing Call of the Grave at the end. But it's still in our hand as a 0, and this way we actually will trigger whatever random expensive death rattle we discover. So we need to really put out a strong board this coming turn, because our opponent is probably just going to use this turn to draw through their deck. So let's see how big our minions are. The Trogg is a 4/5, and this dude is a 7/10. Are they just going off right now? That would be disappointing. Or are they just trying to kill our board? Okay. Various builds of this deck I've had a smattering of, you know, removal spells, like stuff that kills minions. And I'm starting to think I might need at least a copy or two, because it's awkwardly we don't really have a good way to kill this Tamsin Rome, which is like kind of a cardinal sin. It means if we put out a Trogg, it might just not be very good anyway. But alright, so... ooh, okay, so... I can play this big Trogg, and I can give it the LX, so that costs 5 mana, so we have 4 mana to play with. That means I could just do the Power Word Fortitude. It's the exact right mana, because I want to play this Call of the Grave first to see what happens. Oh, it's a close call. So it'll be a 4/5, and then it'll be a 7/10, and then... yeah, that's gotta be the right play. I can do that other stuff later. So, let's just do this and hope it's good enough. 11/17. Could be good enough. They most likely need to cast spells to draw towards the end of their deck, so, you know, if they have to cast too many, it just puts lethal in play, so. Okay, so they're going to try to OTK us, obviously. I don't think there's much we can do about it besides, you know, try to kill that Tamsin. They might have just found it this turn. I don't know. So, casting that is a questionable decision, I think. Because now we have the luxury of... what are they doing? I think they punted this game away. I think they were going to be able to OTK. Well, unless they already have it in hand. No. The legendary spell will still cost like 2 or 3 at the least. They really messed up. They should not have done that. I think they had a chance to win if they played it correctly. Not that it was guaranteed, because they had to not play any spells that turn, and then they had to win the following turn. But, you know, that was kind of the point of this deck. So, yeah, definitely worked as intended that time. Alright, hopping right back in. So yeah, I mean, you saw it in that game, right? Like we did a lot of the previous game. We did a lot of impressive. We put out huge boards early, around the middle of the game, and then our opponent dealt with it, like somewhat easily. But then, despite that, we still did it a second time, and then it was enough to lock out the game. All right, so we've got a little priest mirror match. I have to believe that our Trogg strategy is good in the mirror match, so let's aim towards that. Well, we drew a Trogg, but then the rest of our hand is not great for the early game. We're not gonna play any of these things. I theoretically could have played a Trogg on turn 1, right? But then they would just kill it with something, and we haven't gotten anywhere. Maybe if we already had a Raised Dead in hand, I would do that. But the way this hand is, we're really gonna rely on it. So we're going to be patient. And basically turn 6 is when we're going off, it would look like, because we have the Spirit Guide. Alright, so there's a Raised Dead. So we're just hoping to draw Palm Reading at any point. That's pretty much always the card we're looking for. It's just how it works. So I'm actually going to consider playing the Trogg and just full buffing it. Or I could go like Stormpike Quartermaster. Well, that's less good because... 2 Psyche splits. So my options are Stormpike and then like cast some random spells. Well, I guess it's just the armor scraps, right? It doesn't feel as good though. I think what I'm going to do is just play the Trogg and buff it a little. The reason is if it's not dealt with, then we can Psyche split, and that might be a winning game plan. We'll have to see how this goes. It's possible they can just easily deal with this. And Quest Priest can run any number of weird cards. They could have access to like silence effects and stuff like that. So, we're gonna play the... Oh, interesting. That's kind of funny. How is this gonna go? I'm gonna have to really consider what's going on here. So, if I cast a Psyche Split... Ugh, this is confusing. So then I would have 7 health and 7 power in play. I think that's not good enough. So I'm just going to play Spirit Guide and then bash. And, we'll see how this progresses. But interesting game. If I didn't have that minion to play this turn, I'm really not sure what I would have done. Okay. That sort of makes sense. Hopefully our other Trogg survives. Yeah. Okay, so they kind of really didn't accomplish anything there. So I think we're in a great spot. Because now we can trade off Killer Minion. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. Except now we have a million Troggs. So yeah, we got this one, I think. Okay, so I'm just gonna kill this. And then I don't really want to waste too many more resources, so I think I will just play this card draw 5/5 thing. It's kind of nice that we get to commit to the board, and it's really just like we're reloading. I'm fine if this takes a little bit of time. They need to eventually play some kind of full clear. And I mean, look, we have 14 power on the board. It's not going anywhere. And even something like Soul Mirror would not be good enough for them. Okay, so that makes me want to commit something. Let's see, what's the best way to deal with that? I could kill off one of my Troggs, and then I could play a Stormpike, so that I'm at least getting some value here. Man, this is a little strange. I think, yeah, I do want to kill off one of them. I could just kill off 3, actually. It doesn't really matter, right? Now the question is, do I want to play any more things? I think the answer is play a Psyche Split, just to get a little bit bigger of one. But then also it's just setting up this Corrupt, so I can play that. This is a strange game. I like, if I lose, it feels like it's just because I played incorrectly at some point. I feel like I can just be patient though. I will cast this Insight just get it out of the way. Okay, so we have lots of spells in hand, so we can do a full like cost reduction turn, like whenever they manage to deal with this board. So I'm not too concerned. I think I just want to find one more minion in hand, which I guess. Oh, okay. Raise Dead is almost certainly going to give us 2 Troggs back, and then again, I'm planning way ahead. Like this army of Troggs has a very high chance of just winning the game, but if it doesn't, we're going to like play Stormpike. We're going to play Nazmani and copy it, and then we're just going to like reduce the crap out of our hand, buff a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'm okay playing this because it really helps our clock a little. I'm trying to commit the least possible to this board. I would like to improve the health of that one. I do need to get him dead sort of soon, but he's kind of locked, right? Like he can't play too many spells because it'll fill my board up again. And every minion he plays is kind of pointless. Alright, well that one was actually good. 10-10 taunt. I want to find more attack on some of these minions here. Okay, so I need to... This will get it to 6, so I need to deal 4 to it. So I'll just throw away 2 of these. This is such a funny game. Okay, so now I want to... should I start buffing things? It's such a confusing game, right? I could give it Divine Shield, maybe. Since I have 2 Gift of Luminance. There are just so many options. I don't know. Divine Shield seems good, though. Or I could just trade off 2 of these 3 power ones. That seems fine as well. I do have to play something, though. Oh, that seems good. Good enough for me. I'll kind of diversify a little here. And it's possible if I did that first, I would have played differently this turn, but I'm not too worried about it. But I wanted to have mostly strong Troggs in play so that the board starts getting filled with 2 power Troggs. This is kind of fun. It feels like... Ooh, that was a consideration. Maybe I should have diversified against Hysteria. He got our whole board. Wow. Okay, we still have 2 3/2 Troggs, but that definitely seems like something they can deal with. Just like with the... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, they're still alive. Their health is dwindling. Okay, what's this spell? It looks like we're going to have a Trogg army still. Yep. Alright. They're looking for AoE damage, like Shadow Word Devour would do it. Okay. So my goal is going to be to heal these minions a bit. My board is full, so I can't cast any minions. Oh, that's kind of funny. Should I do this? He's at 17. Is there any spell that I could find that would finish him off? Maybe Bless would. Alright, I'm going to look for Bless. Okay, so I'm currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not looking super likely. I kind of do want to get rid of some of these 1/1s, actually. That one. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm just going to continue with the Trogg army. This is such a strange game. I feel like I'm misstepping at every point in the game, but I also feel like it's hard to lose, so I'll just continue with this strategy. Like, every turn we present a board like this, and they kind of deal with it, but their health is dwindling, and now we actually have big minions. Okay, so we kept a 3/7. Planned it perfectly. Okay, so we just need to kill that, and there it is. That will do it. Alright, a nice victory. Well, at this point, I feel like I've really showcased what this deck is trying to do, so I think I'm just going to end the video. We got some good wins. We played a huge Trogg game twice against the classes that you would expect that to be good against. We had some nice cost reduction action in the other games and won that way. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please subscribe. This is a new channel. The more engagement I can receive, I'm definitely going to invest more time in creating more content like this. So if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.